Welcome to part 3 of the series. 40 weird fun facts you won't believe are real. If you haven't watched part 1 and part 2 yet, I'll leave the links in the description for you. Let's get started. Fact 81. Wasting food is illegal for supermarkets in France. France is the first country in the world that legislated a food waste law that bans supermarkets from wasting unsold food. It mandates that supermarkets must compost their leftover produce or donate the goods to charity. Fact 82. A baby can cost new parents 750 hours of sleep. For first-time parents, having a baby can remove 750 hours from their usual total sleeping hours for an entire year. Fact 83. A grumble is a group of pugs. They're called a grumble because of their tendency for snorting and grunting. Fact 84. Garfield used to own Gmail. Before Google launched Gmail in 2004, Gmail was a free email service on the Garfield website. Garfield Mail operated from 1998 to 2001. Fact 85. Crayola is literally oily chalk. The name is a compound of the French cray, chalk, and ola, oleaginous, oily. Fact 86. Abraham Lincoln was a wrestling champion. Before he was president, Abraham Lincoln was the wrestling champion of his county. Abe fought in almost 300 matches, losing only once. Fact 87. Queen Elizabeth II has had over 30 corgis in her lifetime. Queen Elizabeth had Susan, her first corgi, when she was 18. From Susan, she had 14 generations worth of corgis throughout her life. However, the last one died in 2018. Currently, the Queen has stopped breeding new ones for fear of trampling over a puppy. Fact 88. Relative to their bodies, Chihuahuas have the biggest brain in the dog world. Chihuahuas are very tiny, so that's not really saying a lot. Fact 89. Elvis Presley's managers sold hate merch for profit. One of the most iconic marketing fun facts, Elvis's manager, Andreas Cornelis van Kijck, sold I Hate Elvis badges to make money from people who weren't buying his merchandise. Fact 90. Avocados never ripen on the tree. Farmers can use the trees as storage units. As long as avocados are still attached to its parent tree, they can stay fresh for up to 7 months. Fact 91. At the Humane Society of Missouri, kid volunteers comfort anxious shelter dogs by reading to them. Shelter dogs have usually lived through significant trauma. This makes it difficult for some dogs to be adopted due to their changed behavior. To solve this, the Humane Society of Missouri created the Shelter Buddies reading program. It pairs kids aged 6 to 15 with anxious, mistrustful dogs to socialize them for home life. Fact 92. China owns all of the pandas in the world. The pandas you see in zoos are actually loaned by China at $1 million a year. Fact 93. Penguins used to be 6 feet tall. Whether a terrifying or adorable fun fact, bones found at Seymour Island showed that penguins stood at 6 feet tall and weighed 250 pounds 40 million years ago. Fact 94. A scientific calculator is 6 times more powerful than the Apollo 11 computer. A TI-83 calculator has 6 times more processing power than the computer that landed the Apollo 11 on the moon. Fact 95. Humans shed 18 kilograms of skin in their lifetime. At this rate, a person completely replaces their outer skin every month. Fact 96. The like button on Facebook was supposed to be the awesome button. However, the developers decided like would be a more universal term. Fact 97. Human fingers are really sensitive. The nerve endings on fingers are so sensitive that if your fingers were the size of Earth, you could still feel the difference between a house and a car. Fact 98. Humans are genetically related to bananas. We share 50% of our genes with bananas, which is about 1% of our DNA. Fact 99. Our sense of smell and taste decreased by 20% to 50% during flights. Because of the lack of humidity and pressure in high altitudes, our sense of taste and smell weakens. Fact 100. There are more atoms in a glass of water than glasses of water you could fill with all the oceans of the Earth. Since the first subatomic particles were identified by J. Thomson in 1897, scientists have studied the properties of matter and atoms. It was discovered that there are 1,082 atoms in the universe, which is a 10 followed by 82 zeros. Fact 101. Bubble wrap was originally designed to be used as wallpaper. Bubble wrap was born in 1957 when engineer Al Fielding and Swiss inventor Marc Chavon tried creating a textured wallpaper. However, their product was rejected. They also tried marketing it as a greenhouse insulator, but the material still fell short. However, when IBM released a new computer, Fielding and Chavon pitched their concept as a protective covering for computer shipments. From then on, bubble wrap was adopted as the go-to protective wrap. Third time's the charm, I guess. Fact 102. Your body replaces all its particles every 7 years. You are not the same person that you were 7 years ago. Fact 103. The world's longest musical piece lasts 639 years. Organ superscript 2/ASLSP, As Slow as Possible, is a musical piece by John Cage that has been playing since 2001 at the St. Burchardi Church in Germany. As Slow as Possible is scheduled to have a duration of 639 years, set to end in 2640. Fact 104. Neptune was the first planet that was discovered before being seen through a telescope. Neptune stands out from the rest of the solar system because it was the first planet discovered by Urbain Le Verrier through mathematical prediction rather than an encounter. Fact 105. You're more likely to become president than you are to win the lottery. The odds of a person becoming the president of the United States are 10 million to 1. However, the odds of hitting the Powerball jackpot are 292,201,338 to 1. Fact 106. There's only one letter that doesn't appear in any U.S. state name. You'll find AZ, Arizona, AJ, New Jersey, and even 2 X's, New Mexico and Texas, but not a single American state has the letter Q. Fact 107. Samsung tests phone durability with a Bud robot. People tend to store their devices on their back pockets, which is why Samsung created a robotic butt to test phone durability. Fact 108. Armadillos have bulletproof shells. One Texas man was even hospitalized after shooting an armadillo. The bullet ricocheted off the animal and struck him in the jaw. Fact 109. Kleenex tissues were supposed to be for gas masks. During a cotton shortage in World War I, Kimberly-Clark devised a thin, flat cotton substitute to use as a filter for Army gas masks. However, the war ended before scientists could perfect the material. In turn, the company constructed a thinner and softer material that eventually became Kleenex tissues. Fact 110. Blue whales eat 500,000 calories in one mouthful. When whales open their gaping mouths in the ocean, they eat 500,000 calories worth of krill. If whales were like humans, their calorie deficit would be way off the charts. The energy they get is more than 240 times the energy they expend to gather all the krill in their mouth. Fact 111. The tiny pocket in jeans is for pocket watches. When jeans were invented by Jacob Davis and Levi Strauss in 1893, it only had 4 pockets, 1 in the back, 2 in the front, and the tiny pocket. Fact 112. NASA can fax tools to astronauts. Sending equipment to the space station used to take months or years, but 3D printing technology now lets NASA do it in a few hours. Fact 113. Only 1/4 of the Sahara Desert is sandy. When you think Sahara, you'd probably think of something out of The Lion King or National Geographic, stretches of dry, barren sands. However, this is actually not the case. One of the fun facts about the Sahara Desert is that it's hardly made up of sand. Most of it is covered in gravel with mountains and oases. Fact 114. Two parts of the human body never stop growing. Our noses and ears never stop growing, even when the rest of the body has stopped. Fact 115. No number contains the letter A before 1000. Spelled out, 1000 is the first number that has the letter A in it. Fact 116. Mercedes invented a joystick-controlled car. In 1966, Mercedes released the Mercedes F200. One of its most defining features is its joystick controller that replaces the steering wheel and pedals. The car could sense which side the driver was sitting in, so someone could control it from the passenger seat. Fact 117. The CIA headquarters Starbucks doesn't put names on the cups. Its receipts say store number 1 instead of Starbucks, and the cafe workers need an escort to leave their work posts. Fact 118. The Eiffel Tower grows during the summer. In summer heat, the high temperatures make the Eiffel Tower's iron expand up to 6 inches. Fact 119. Bees can fly higher than Mount Everest. Bees are endlessly interesting creatures with a lot of amazing fun facts. One of which is that bees can fly over 29,525 feet above sea level. That's even higher than Mount Everest, the tallest peak in the world. Fact 120. Humans have jumped further than horses in the Olympics. The Olympics has been a good measure for humanity's physical limits and capabilities. You'd be surprised that the world record for the longest human long jump is even greater than the record for longest long jump done by a horse. When Mike Powell jumped 8.95 meters, he beat the record of Extra Dry, who jumped at 6.10 meters.